Good morning and welcome to my very first workshop video called Talking Sticks and Wrapping as Protection. I was supposed to do this in person with an amazing charity called Arts and Minds yesterday, but unfortunately I have COVID, hence why I've decided to try this video out. It may not work, it might work, who knows. So you have to start with a selection of materials, and these will be some sticks. And I've been around the garden and I've been looking for some sticks that I find quite inspiring to me. This one's got lots of little branches branching off it. This one's quite thick and gnarly, and has been through quite a bit, I can see, with looks like being scratched or eaten by a mouse or some sort of animal. And then this one is just a bit of firewood, but I quite like the smooth texture, the shape, geometric shape it makes, along with the little tiny natural hole that's there. And we are going to make our own talking sticks today, and I'm going to give you a little bit of history about talking sticks. I have a very large selection of yarns, ribbons, bits of old fabrics, all sorts of different colours, which we're going to have a look at today and wrap around our talking sticks. And we're going to think about colour, feelings and emotions. And so these are some that I've made with my family. One of them is mine, and this one is my daughter's, and she thinks it's her best friend. It sits in her bedroom and she likes to talk to it, and each knot on here is a little story, and she's wrapped her feelings up in it, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So today we're going to make our own private talking sticks, using the materials we have to hand, which I've already shown you. And I want you to think about one word that describes you now. It could be happy, anxious, confused, misunderstood, bored or lost or scared. So I'm going to have those thoughts in my head, and I'm going to choose some materials that suit that feeling. I'm going to just put those to one side, put them on my knee so you can still see them. And then I want you to think about how you want to feel, and whether that's confident, understood, wise, clever, knowledgeable, powerful, creative, courageous. And really don't downplay yourself. What do you want to be? What do you want to feel? I want to feel really strong, a really strong woman. I'm thinking whatever comes to my head, I just do. I want to feel creative, I want to feel powerful, I want to feel that I'm doing something to help people. And so from those thoughts, I'm going to try and look at my box of materials. I'm going to try and pick out some really things that I feel positive about. And then we're going to wrap those around our stick that we've chosen. And I've chosen this one, which I showed you before, with the rectangular not rectangular, with the angular edges. And I'm going to start by wrapping. My feelings of feeling a little bit irritated. I'm going to use the hole that's in there. I'm going to just start wrapping it round and just thinking about the feelings that I've felt this week, and using the meditative form of just wrapping round. You can cross it over. So I want you to spend a few minutes just doing that. Take your time. You can use scissors to cut it off, tie it on. Maybe it's quite tightly wound, maybe it's loosely wound. Maybe it's starting to become a pattern. So we'll carry on doing that. So as you come to the end of wrapping your negative thoughts onto the stick, and you can think about how they feel, and now you can think about how you want to feel. The confidence, the creativeness. So I'm choosing my bright pink to go over the top, to cover over those negative thoughts. And you can carry on doing this as long as you like. I'm doing it quite quickly, but you can spend a long time adding to them, taking away from them, adding memories to them. So what I wanted to talk to you about as we're doing this is the history of talking sticks, and I found them absolutely fascinating, and they're based around Native American tradition. And some of you may have heard of them before or seen them before. And they were used to tell stories around a group or with individuals, and they ensured that everybody who wished to speak had their thoughts and ideas heard when holding the talking stick. And it essentially gave you, the speaker, the power to be heard and the power of words. The sticks were decorated with lots of found objects, a little bit like what we're doing here, with fabrics and yarns and symbols of lives of the individual or the groups. So in Native American tradition, they use eagle feathers, which is a sign of courage and wisdom, and it's a reminder to speak the truth. And they also use things like rabbit fur, which reminds the speaker that their words must come from the heart. And they believed that sticks were charged with spiritual qualities that called up the spirits of their ancestors to guide them in making good decisions. And also, what we're doing here is wrapping. We're wrapping physically wrapping our yarns and metaphorically wrapping our emotions up, and trying to think about, well, not even think really, but just to have time to yourself, time to your own thoughts. And there are many different cultures that use wrapping as a form of symbolism, to bestow protection and good fortune onto the recipient of the gift. In Japan, the process is called furoshiki, and the fabric cloth is called a fukuza. In Korea, a similar process, but the way they knot the fabric and the way they tie it can mean different things, and this is called a bojagi. We as human beings naturally wrap ourselves up from the elements with our clothes. We wear clothes to protect ourselves, our vulnerable bodies, from the cold, the heat, and from the elements, and we cover and wrap ourselves up for our privacy. And this process of wrapping is a symbol of protection and power. The protection is the actual physical, solid element being used to wrap with. The power is the adornment, the things we use to symbolise our life and our emotions. We as humans love to adorn our bodies with accessories, whether that be jewellery, makeup, nail varnish, hair dye, a new piece of clothing. A new set of nails can make us feel amazing, powerful and confident. And now we've come to the end of my talking stick mini tutorial, I suppose, or workshop. And you can carry on using your weaving technique, your wrapping, just to sit there. You could either listen to an audiobook, You can sit in the garden with a cup of tea, with your friend, with a group, and it can either be an individual workshop or a group workshop, and the group ones can be amazingly fun. I've done group ones with children before, and they're all wrapping one really large stick up, and it can be chaos, but it can be fun, and you have this beautiful item afterwards, and it's a piece of artwork. You've just created your own piece of artwork that you can speak to, you can wrap up with more memories, you can place wherever you like in your house. I place some in my plant pots to add a bit of jazz or a bit of colour to some of the beautiful greenery around. And I'm going to add a few more bits to this, but thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it. All right, thank you very much. Bye bye.